Hey guys, welcome back again to another Oscars prediction video. One of the last we're going to do before we do, of course, the annual live stream with Dominic Rizzi, the movie nerd. That's more to come on that soon, but this episode we are getting into the weeds with the supporting categories, and I am joined today by one of my very best friends, Mr. Ryan Maguire, or RyMovieGuy, as you know him on YouTube. And hey, man, I'm glad you could come on and that we got to do this. I really am looking forward to this chat and our predictions in these categories.
Absolutely, man. It's good. Thanks for having me. And I'm just really excited to get into award season. It's been a very interesting season so far, with a lot of the bigger categories. Not too many surprises, but the categories that we're going to discuss today, which are the supporting categories, especially supporting actor, they're all over the place. So I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Yes, this is chaos incarnate. These categories right here, which is why I'm excited to have this conversation because we might have all the same picks in one category, we might not in the other. But who's to say? I will say I think we should dive into best supporting actor first because I think we basically know who the five nominees are. I think the chaos is who is going to win. It's so hard to really predict at this moment in time, which is why I think it's so interesting. But if I'm going off of gut instinct as to what we know right now, I think at number one I have Stellan Skarsgård for sentimental value. Is that who you have at number one as well?
This is tough because, and we were talking about this with a couple of friends of ours, because Benicio was sweeping for his
Mm-hmm.
role as Sensei in one battle after another for the critic circles. But once but once it came time for the industry to represent, Dylan won the Golden Globe. So now that kind of put a riff into things. And then of course Elordi had won for the Critics' Choice. So it's like, okay, so who's taking this? Um, right now I don't have Stellan in the lead. I think my heart and soul and body wants to give it to Sean Penn because he's won twice before, and I just think it's one of the best performances of last year in general, not just
Agreed.
supporting. It's just, yeah, it's such a singular character. Maybe not to that extent quite yet. We need to let the movie breathe, but it is in the same conversation as like three of the best supporting roles of all time and all won Best Supporting Actor back to back. Javier Bardem for No Country for Old Men, Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, Christoph Waltz for Inglourious Bastards. Three of the most iconic villains of not just the 21st century, but filmmaking in general. And I think that Colonel Lockjaw is definitely, I just wanted to say his name, Colonel Lockjaw. That's definitely up there in the ranks. It's getting up there into the mark. But uh, right now, I don't know why I'm feeling a Lordy. I
Mm.
feel like there's a lot of goodwill around that performance. He crushed it as Frankenstein's monster. Of course, the film historians in us, it would have been cool to see Boris Karloff get similar
Yeah.
Oscar love back in the day, but of course, the industry saw it very differently back then. But I don't know, a lot of people are loving Frankenstein across the board, across the critic circles, across these industry awards, and in general. So right now, Elordi's my pick for Best Supporting Actor.
Well, that's good because I have Jacob Elordi at number two, just because I mean, he's obviously taken off like a rocket. He's gotten to this point in his career where he's kind of had to climb out of the pit, so to speak, like in Batman Begin or not Batman Begins, The Dark Knight Rises, but like he's kind of had to climb out of the shadow of the kissing booth movies, and he's slowly been building to this moment. And a career opportunity like this does not come around very often, especially for a character this beloved and iconic, and for him to put his own spin on it, which is so original and so distinctive and so transformative. I mean, you hardly see the guy under all the makeup, but even then, like what he is doing, how he builds that character from the ground up, I would definitely nominate him in this category. I'm glad to see him get all the love he's been getting for this performance. And I think this would be an incredibly inspired Oscar win if he ends up triumphing in this category. But something does tell me that, with Stellan Skarsgård being such a veteran that he is, obviously the love for sentimental value is shared almost across all the guilds except the actors. And which is really bizarre to me because, of course, there have been instances where someone has won the Oscar without getting nominated in SAG. Marcia Gay Harden for Pollock might be the most extreme case of that, and that was like a fluke thing because she wasn't nominated for anything beforehand. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. But you have Christoph Waltz in Django Unchained and Regina King in If Beale Street Could Talk. Now, those were late bloomers to the season. Obviously, Sentimental Value had time to screen much prior to December. So I really don't understand exactly how this happened, how he was snubbed at SAG. I mean, even Adrian Brody got nominated for The Brutalist at SAG, and even though they weren't a huge fan of that movie and he was the only nomination, I thought that might have been what happened with Skarsgård, but they just completely shut him out. But something tells me that, there's so much love for this movie, and if he wins the BAFTA, like, I think he can win the Oscar without getting nominated at SAG.
That's fair. They definitely have the legacy going with him too. So, veteran actor, he's paid his dues in, in so many different ways. And it is a legitimately great performance as well. He's one of the
Hmm.
standouts. It is interesting too that that film did get slept on because even though it has a terrific screenplay and Yoakum's direction is just so intimate, it's an actor's movie. Like this is a story that's built on how powerful the performances are. Like this is one of those movies where like they cannot afford to have a single weak link. Like if there's
No.
one character that doesn't work, I'm not even with Elle Fanning as Rachel Kemp, like if she's not there, the movie kind of falls apart. Like you
Oh,
need those characters to work
totally.
together.
And we'll
So
talk about her later because I have some thoughts on that. But yeah, that's like one of the best ensembles of the year. I would definitely put it in best casting even, just because those four central performances are so great. I will say I might like him as Baron von Harkonnen in the first Dune a little bit more performance wise, but
ooh,
it's
in the
like
first one
in the
specifically?
first one, yeah,
Okay.
because he's so good. But I get that this a lot of people would say this is his most acclaimed performance, and even though it's not like my favorite to get nominated in this category, like he's great in it, and it's a very difficult role, what he has to do and how he portrays himself and how he is able to exude so much empathy despite the kind of wrought situation that is being, kind of circled around him and because of him. But it's just such an interesting character, and he just brings such a warmth to it. I think is very welcome, and so yeah, I wouldn't be upset if he won. But we will talk about this a little bit when we get to another actor. But let me ask you, Ryan, is Stellan Skarsgård at number two for you?
So right now, he's at number two for me.
Okay.
And because again, also like I mentioned, the film doesn't work if they have a single weak note when it comes to the acting, and you really needed to cast a father figure that would fit that role, and Stellan is couldn't have been more perfect casting. Um, it's a tricky role too because I know Yoakum has talked about this during many Q&As and talks about the film that he said we really wanted to cast somebody who played like a jerk pretty well, and so we get like Sweden's most likable movie star in Stellan, and if they had just played him as like an a-hole throughout the whole movie, he's like, yeah, we could have done that, but the role would have been infinitely less interesting. Like,
Oh
we
yeah,
wanted to have this guy who had like, little moments that kind of push your buttons, but you saw he's a very charming guy. He's very passionate about his work. And
he's very
that's,
likable.
oh, absolutely. It's like, it's one of those things too where it's like, yeah, I could see why your daughters aren't necessarily happy with you, but I totally want to go out and get a drink with this guy.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
like the thing about the role. And you'd want to work with him too because he is talented. He's at number two for me. In fact, you might even sway me into picking Stellan during this
Hmm.
conversation. Right now, I just have Elordi because I'm like, it's a strong role. Just I think that the pure happenstance that Andrew Garfield, who was originally going to play the monster in the film, dropped out. So not only does he get the role of a lifetime by pure circumstance, but he kills it too. And the fact that he's getting this traction at such a young age, I mean, that's incredible. Um, I don't know. I might be swaying over to Stellan, but right now I'm going to stick with the Lordy one, Stellan at two.
Yeah, we'll have to wait to see what happens at BAFTA. Honestly, maybe it is his best performance. I don't know, because he
Yeah.
is great in it. But yeah, so I think that's very fair. It's this category. It's like who knows what's happening. I mean, some of these other actors could end up winning at BAFTA or SAG, and we'll be like, wait, what's going to happen here? And with that being said, I'll get to my number three, and I would have him higher. And I think I'm just putting him here because I just think that this performance is amazing, and that's Sean Penn in one battle after another. For up to me, this is who should be winning this category. I think in a cakewalk, it's not even close. But yeah, man, I mean, this is just one of the most singular performances I have ever seen, especially from Sean Penn, who has continuously reinvented himself as an actor throughout the course of his career. Now, I know some people contest the 2 Oscar wins that he had. I think he deserved both of those Oscars. And, like, of course, they don't mind giving other actors Oscars, or like second or third Oscars, of course. But, Sean Penn is a bit of a walking contradiction in a lot of ways, and no pun intended, because that walk, I mean, another reason why he should win the Oscar. It's
Yeah.
like, like they say, a character is born in
That's
the
some kind
walk.
of sick joke against God.
Yeah, man. And he has like some of the funniest lines in the movie. It's like, if you're going out, you gotta wear makeup or whatever he says.
My
Just
mom was a
so
rat. She was a warrior.
so incredible performance off the board. He's the thing that's so amazing about him in this. It's like he's pitiful, yet he is so funny, yet he's terrifying. And I'm just like, I've never seen like a performance like that. Like he's able to combine all these things and just so entertaining at every step of the way. But yeah, he is a walking contradiction in the sense that like he doesn't really care about the awards, but he kind of does. But at the same time, like the industry isn't necessarily like in favor with him. It seems. I think of that moment where he just like pulls out a cigarette at the at the Golden Globes, and he just doesn't care about it. But personal things, anecdotes aside, I mean, I really don't see how this isn't winning. And the fact that he is a 2-time Academy Award winner, it's not like that they're completely adverse to awarding him. And I think that this performance deserves it more than anything. So, where do you have? Do you have Sean Penn at number three as well?
Again, you're probably going to sway me. Right now, I don't have him at number
Mm,
three, even though, again, how I feel is that I think this is I think it's one of the best performances of the year, not
yeah.
just for this specific category. It might even be my personal favorite performance. It's just such an
Wow.
original. Actually, I'll save this for like another discussion. There's another actor who has him beat, but well, that's a separate category. I don't know if we're going to get into that today. Um, it's Jesse Buckley for Pamnet. I'll just get say
Oh
that,
yeah.
but
Well, we
that's
we
probably the
we
best
cover
performance of
that,
last year.
so
Yeah,
we're good. We're
I
good.
know we're not covering that category today, but like I think that she's probably gives the best performance of last year.
Mm,
But I mean, Sean Penn's up right up there. And I think that he should win. He's not my number three, unfortunately, because I guess just my brain, I think like stats and what the general conversation is. What's going to hurt Sean Penn at the end of the day, which I guess will just lead into my number four. Number three is Benicio del Toro.
mm.
Um, there's a lot of goodwill around his character. People love Benicio. He's already won an Oscar before, but people really love this character in Sensei.
I
And
do too.
yeah, no, he's one of my favorite parts of the movie. He's probably, if there's a character that I love watching the most, him and Sean Penn are my two favorites. But and Tiana Taylor, of course. So all the actors who have been getting nominated, and Leo as well. But um,
Everyone.
actually, yeah, pretty much everybody's been getting nominated for different stuff. But those two really like struck a chord with me. Which is funny because Benicio is not my favorite, but I'm just going purely by the numbers. And even though it's been
Yeah.
critics list, I can't deny that a lot of people have been loving him. And the fact that he's gotten this far, that he's now getting nominated in the bigger circles, goes to show that people really thought he did a great job with this role. So not my favorite. Like again, he's great, but I could see the nomination, but when he first started getting traction, I didn't really see it. I just kind of thought Sean Penn would be one, and that's it. But right now he's my number three, and then not to spoil your number four, but just to jump to my number four, Sean Penn would be right behind him.
Well, it's funny you say that because Benicio del Toro is my number four in this category, and this is the thing. I mean, the more I see that movie, I'm like, yeah, like I love this performance. I don't know if I would nominate him personally, but I get the nomination the more I see the film. But I don't know why he was like sweeping every award like that. That's a little crazy to me. But yet
Yeah.
again, he has like some of the best lines and maybe the best line in the entire movie with the dance and a few small beers.
Let's go to work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what'd you throw in your car? Trash. It's
Or
like I
earlier
get
in the
it.
movie, it's like, what time is it? 8:15.
I love that line. And then when he's like when he goes under the door. Yeah, it's an iconic
Hey, we gotta
character,
stop
I
by my
think.
place first. We got a bit of a Latino Harriet Tubman situation.
Oh man, don't get greedy. There's so many great lines from him, and yet again, there's a lot of goodwill towards this character, But I still am like, I don't know why Sean Penn isn't out front because I'm like, that's a performance in the way that I think of like acting, like how to transform himself, and it's very subtle. And that's not to say like obviously I said I love him in this movie, but I think he's a lock in this category. Like he could win. I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like any of these people could win. Like I really feel like it's that chaotic. Because if Sean Penn wins at SAG, I'd be like, well, I guess I'm not shocked, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, it could be a Lordy, which I'm kind of leaning towards right now. But I don't know. This is really, really bizarre, the situation. But, I think both these guys are definitely in. This is the first, I think this is going to be the first pair of double nominees in supporting in a while, at least in like 3 years. Since it might have been since everything ever all at once in Banshees of Inisherin. So it's been a while, but yeah, I think they're locked in. And then at number five, I think we're in agreement here. Paul Mescal for Hamnet, even though I would
Yeah.
have him much higher. He'd probably be two for me in this category. I think that this is his best performance that he's ever given. It's one of my favorite performances of the year. In fact, I'm of course he's not on quite to Buckley's level, but I mean it's kind of hard. Most performances aren't to that level, and I just think he really gives himself over to this role. His heart and soul is in the role of William Shakespeare, and just like the quiet model, like when he's telling her the story about Eurydice, he's just so quietly captivating in this role, but he really, really brings it in some of the most emotionally tense moments of the entire year and some of the most memorable. So I don't understand why he's just like coasting this whole season. Like he's just getting in everywhere, and it's like yeah. But I have a sneaking suspicion like maybe he wins BAFTA, and then we're like whoa. What's happening? Because he's playing William Shakespeare,
I could see that too. Yeah.
yeah, and I think he would be very deserving of the Oscar, as well. I think and so yeah, this is a really interesting category. But I definitely think that we're in agreement. Paul Mescal, number five.
Yeah, as far as like where the ranking is, I do think he's at the bottom right now as far as just getting a lack of love. He's the only one who, at least, unless I'm missing something, he hasn't won anything yet for this role, right?
Not that I know of, and I don't understand why really, but
Yeah. No, and he is great. It's one thing that he really brought to the role that was special is that even though he shares like some of the most intense scenes, not just like, the emotionally grating ones, but also like some of the most passionately loving scenes between
Mm-hmm.
Jesse and the kids. Um, and yeah, I mean, of course, I'm partial to Gladiator too. Kidding. I'm kidding, everybody. I'm
Uh
kidding.
oh. Uh oh.
Um,
Bring out the pitchforks.
no, I don't even blame him for that. That's nobody's best work. I don't think anybody says Gladiator 2 is their claim to fame, but yeah, like no, I do think that this is his best performance by far. Just the range of emotions that he has to convey. Really got to applaud actors for going not only deep into a role, but giving us a sense of something that we never saw before, like let alone William Shakespeare, one of the most well-known iconic human beings that ever walked the face of the earth. And yet, watching this film, even though I know it's adapted from the story, it's still I still felt like I saw Shakespeare in a different light. Um, and just seeing the pain, seeing how therapeutic art can be. And I think Hamnet, just to talk about Hamnet for a second, I mean, I think what's so special about that film, let alone Mescal's performance, is that it does show that, yeah, like when you chalk it up, art is kind of like therapy, but the healing process that storytelling can be, and how powerful that is, they really conveyed that with his role. So I get her on a personal level, I'd rank him higher because it is a terrific performance. But again, just looking at the stats and everything, he's number five for now.
Yeah. Well, and I completely agree. I think we're very much in agreement on the nominees in this category for the most part. But here's a question: do you think anyone else can sneak in, or is this just like I feel like that this is the most definitive batch of nominees that we're getting? Like I don't really think anyone else can get in, but we can float some of the possibilities if you think there is anything that's possible.
Yeah, that's the tough thing is that sure, like there's people who I liked personally, but as far as just certain actors that I think could sneak in, not really seeing anything. I mean, I'd have
Nope.
to double check some films that I've watched, but yeah, I think this is the definitive list.
Hmm.
So I wish I could just throw a name out there just to stir the pot and make that interesting, but I so far like looking at the circulation of like what's been going on recently or the rotation of actors, this seems to be the most like concrete group of actors for this category.
Yeah, I agree. I probably won't even bring up any of the other ones, just because we don't need to. And it maybe I'm going to be eating my words if like Miles Caton gets in. But I think that was like a week, like just a one-off SAG thing that probably won't repeat.
Yeah.
So I guess we can just move on to Best Supporting Actress, which oh boy, I got a lot of names
Yeah.
to mention
This is
in this
interesting.
category. This is insane. This race here, and so I'm going to kick this off, and I think maybe we're in agreement on this. As things stand right now, I think at number one we have Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another.
Oh, interesting. Okay, this is not my number
Ooh.
one, but we
Whoa,
could
okay.
talk about.
I think I know who it is.
I'll share my number one,
Mm-hmm.
and then we could just duke it out and talk about who's gonna win. But right now, my number one, and maybe my personal favorite, is Amy Madigan for
Yeah, I knew it.
Weapons.
I knew
Yeah.
it.
So, dude, I thought this was an incredible performance. First of all, I know I'm sure you've talked about this with Dom and a couple of other people before, and we've talked about this like personally. Dude, what a phenomenal year for the horror genre.
Yeah.
So much so that it's even being reflected in the box office and in the award season. Like that's
Hmm.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, she's
When has
getting nominated for this. Like,
look, dude,
she's locked.
Weapons, Frankenstein, Sinners,
Yeah.
all these big films that are like getting, and I'm hoping Kreger gets in for screenplay, but it's
Mm.
probably a long shot. But on a personal
I would
level, I'd
love
like
to
to
see
see
it
him there.
too.
And
I think
maybe
this should be
editing.
nominated.
I think it has the best shot at like Amy Madigan's clearly the biggest
Yeah,
nomination it's gonna get. Like she is, I think she's a lock for this category,
me too.
and it's very well deserving too. Her character comes in later in the film, um, but she leaves quite the impression, kind of like the inverse of Tiana, where she's at the
Hmm.
beginning of the movie, that but then once her story, or at least when she takes a dip, and then we focus on these other characters, you feel her presence too. But
Right.
Amy Madigan, I think it's a mix of legacy, and she has the best of both worlds because she's just been like an incredible performer for years now. She hasn't really done any major stuff, but she's been in the biz for a long time. She's a respected performer, and it is a legitimately great transformation. Like I just don't see her. I see that character. The image of her talking to her nephew when she's like, "I could make your
Oh,
parents kill each other if I could, like if I wanted to," and it's like, what?
it's
Um,
crazy, man.
but I do want to hear your defense for Tiana because
Yes.
this is a good pick.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I would put Amy Madigan above her in this category, and she's my number two. I think she could win. I certainly would not count that.
Number two.
Number two, and I think that she is like it's just such a transformative performance, like you said, and just that Aunt Gladys, like that image of Aunt Gladys, that costume is so it's an iconic horror villain. In
Oh
just
yeah.
less than a year's time span, people will consider this to be one of the all-time great horror villains. And obviously, former Oscar nominee hasn't really done too much in years, but has been around for such a long time in smaller projects. This is going to be great. Second nomination for her. And it would be amazing to see her win because Tiana Taylor, it's like, I think she's great in the movie, but it is one of those things where, yes, her presence looms over the entire film, but at the same time, I don't know how much I would say she does to like warrant a win in this category. Like I'm down to the nomination, but look, this is the Best Picture frontrunner. I think her winning the Globe was very telling how they feel because everyone thought Madigan was going to win after Critics' Choice, where she triumphed on
Yeah.
top, and it's just one of those things where I really feel like this could be just the fact that One Battle After Another is like the front runner in Best Picture. I just feel like she's just going to come along for the ride. Sort of like Mahershala Ali in Moonlight, even though I feel like that one, I'm like, I understand that one a lot more. But yeah, like she's great in the movie. Like I said, her presence lingers over the entire film, and that's something that can't be taken for granted. It is the true definition of a supporting performance. It's not like Kieran Culkin in Real Pain, where obviously he deserved to win the Oscar, but he's just in like almost every scene of that movie. It's like a co-lead where she really is like she's in the first 30 minutes of the movie or more, and then she dips. And
Yeah.
that really says a lot that she leaves that strong of an impression. I mean, the whole movie happens because of her character, right? So that's why I have her at one, honestly. And yet again, we'll see how this pans out. Because I still think Amy Madigan could win SAG. Because obviously they didn't sweep the season, neither one of them. But obviously I think they're the two out front. So I guess, I'll throw it to you. Well, did you say your number two yet? Is it
Well,
Tiana
my number
Taylor?
two is Teyana Taylor.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
But well, did you have anything else to say on that, or?
no, I mean, I kind of echo a lot of what you were just saying. Like again, she leaves quite the impression for a character. Because if you think about it, the first hour of One Battle is essentially the backstory. It's like a separate movie altogether. It's kind of like getting
Yeah.
two movies for the price of one. Um, but you feel her presence and you feel like the impact that the French 75 has left all these years later, and she's at the center of that. And it's just a great performance. The fact that it just
Hmm.
feels so different from all her work too. Like she's a musician and she transitioned to acting, and the fact that like she was able to deliver like such a powerful performance. Like the opening of the movie is her pointing a gun at Sean Penn, going toe to toe with one of the greatest actors of his generation, and telling him to keep his boner up. I mean, how else do you open a movie? Like it's just so
That
crazy.
whole dynamic
Um,
is crazy between the two of them as well.
exactly. And again, like she goes toe to toe with Sean Penn, who's he's on like a whole other level. But the fact that like she's able to go up with him and she's not showing any signs of being intimidated. She's like, no, let's do a dance right now as two actors feeling the scene out, feeling the rhythm of the scene.
Yeah.
And
She
yeah,
dominates every second she's on screen. It's a very
oh,
powerful
100%.
role.
So it's like French 75 mother when she hangs up the phone. Like, but yeah, Tiana's my number two for sure. So I guess we just have one and two flip-flop.
Yeah. Well, this is what I find interesting if we're going to have the same number three or not. Because at number three, I have Inga Ibsdaler Lalas for Sentimental
Okay,
Value.
let's
And this
talk
is,
because this is my number three too.
to me, this is who I would pick to win in this category. I think that
hmm
this is my favorite supporting actress performance of the year. And it's a very quiet, very subtle performance. But man, like the scenes that she's in and the impact that she leaves on this movie, especially everyone talks about the scene near the end of the film between her and Renata Reinsva. Oh my goodness, it's like it's one of the emotional highlights of the entire year, and it really has to do with her more than anything. I just think that this is such a captivating performance and just so understated in the most human and beautiful ways. I think most people who walked away from Sentimental Value said that this was the standout supporting performance outside of Stellan Skarsgård, who I think is the lead in that movie. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, this
Ooh,
is another definition of
that's
a true supporting
interesting.
performance. Yeah, why do you think he's supporting more than the lead?
I think he's a lead. I don't know if he's the lead because I still
Mm.
see it as like I still see like Renata Rinsve as Nora as the center of the film. Um, I think they'd be like co-leads, and then Ingo would be
Hmm.
supporting.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
dude, it's for of course I was just telling you before we hit record that um I had just seen Sentimental Value for the first time recently, so it's still fresh in my mind. But I don't know if I'd pick her necessarily, but I would absolutely love to see Inga get nominated.
Hmm.
It's not a showy performance, but what was so powerful about that film was that I felt like I was just watching real people
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Like just, and that scene too, there was a lot of great moments that moved me emotionally, but I'm not gonna lie, I actually like was almost shedding a tear
Me
during
too.
that scene where they hug because oh my God, dude, the scene where Nora, Renata's character, is just like, how did our childhood not break you? And then she comes over and she's like, it hasn't been easy for me. And it's like, oh, it's a gut punch because you're like, I've definitely had a conversation like that before, or at least I know what a conversation like that feels like. And I think she nailed it. Um, I've been noticing too during like certain conversations of the film that, not just in the film, but her personality wise, like she seems to be a very like passionate person about acting and the arts, but she seems to be a little bit more reserved than the rest of the cast, which
Hmm.
is fine. Like she's just a little quieter. But I think that just goes to show that she's somebody who's very careful with her words, and it seems like it's not that she's disengaged, that she's trying to think about what the right thing is to say in the moment. And I think that was perfect
Yeah.
casting for that
And
role.
dude, I was just thinking because like just watching her process a lot of things throughout the movie when she finds out certain key moments and elements of the story, it really is just it's so hard to take your eyes off of her because
Yeah.
just that internalization and how she kind of puts it on the screen is really really beautiful. So is she your number three? Oh, go ahead.
I did want to throw this out there too. I did want to say that one of my favorite things about her performance too that really affected me, and of course we'll get into it later, is the fact that there's the scene where she first confronts Stellan's character when he's telling her he wants to put her son, his grandson, in the movie,
Hmm.
and she goes, "You have to talk to me about this first because that's my kid."
That's a
And
great
then
scene. Yeah.
dude, and she's just like, hold on a second, and she's interrupting him because she's like, hold on a second, let me like, you don't get to do this. Stop talking for a minute. And it's so funny because you could tell she's not the type like I feel this way too because I know you know this about me, and I know I get the impression like you're not afraid to speak up if you feel like you have to. I'm not somebody who thrives in confrontation, but I'll speak up if I feel
Yeah.
like it's necessary. But as somebody who doesn't really like or go after drama, that scene really hit me because I'm like, I know exactly what that feels like. Like, dude, even though she's not exactly as, or she doesn't advertise her frustration as much as her sister Nora does, you can tell she was waiting for years to
Mm.
say something to him. And I think that scene was played perfectly.
Oh, it's wonderful, man, and that's definitely like the first scene in the movie where I really think she stands out in that way. So is she your number three then?
That's my number three, is
Okay,
Inga.
gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, I mean I think even though she missed it, SAG, it doesn't matter because they hate international movies and she's safe for this nomination.
Yeah.
I feel pretty certain about that.
I'm still
Um,
frustrated about the lack of love for Brutalist, but whatever.
yeah, well, it's okay.
Yeah.
We have Adrian Brody got his Oscar. It's all good. But I do want to ask because this is where it gets really interesting. This category, I think. Who do you have at number four?
I was actually wondering if you could lead this one because I'm
Oh
not sure
yeah,
if we're
yeah,
gonna have the
yeah.
same one. So,
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, at number four, I have Wunmi Musaku, for Sinners. I think even though
ooh,
she,
okay.
yeah, I mean, look, man, she missed the Globe, but really, when I saw this movie, I thought she might get nominated for this because I was like,
Interesting.
if
Okay.
it, out of the especially the female supporting cast, they're all great. Haley Steinfeld is also really really phenomenal in that, but
Yeah.
I was like, I think her role really leaves the biggest impression out of all the
Mm,
supporting characters.
yeah, good
And
point.
she's so integral. There's kind of like the aura surrounding her character is really really interesting, and just the dynamic that she has with Smoke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
Smoke, and it's just amazing what she does in that film, and really she has to carry a lot on her shoulders. It's a very powerful character, and just a really deeply empathetic one at that. Just so beautiful, and yeah, I think that this is a wonderful performance. She really is, if you really think about it, outside of Sammy, she really is like the anchor point of this movie from an
Oh,
emotional standpoint.
100%. I mean, like all the big moments that really got to me, or at least not all of them, but some of the biggest scenes that I remember, wow, really affecting me during the moment was that scene with her when Smoke goes to visit her and they're talking about
Mm-hmm.
the past that they have. And dude, we've talked about this a million times already,
Yeah.
but that final image when it's about to be lights out for him after that huge shootout, which is a great scene in and of itself.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
If you haven't
And
seen
then,
Sinners already.
yeah, well, we were talking about the films. I figured people had seen them already or some of
Mm-hmm.
them. But then, dude, there's the shootout, and then there's that image of her with the baby as he sees her. And I'm like, oh, dude, oh man, that scene gets me every just thinking about it. I'm like, wow, and Ludwig's score just playing over that
Mm-hmm.
too. She really adds like a beating heart to it, but she also that's a tricky role too because not only is she somebody who's supposed to be like this emotional connection for these characters, but she's also like the realist as well. She's the one who's like actually knows or understands the vampire, so she poses like a threat to them because of her knowledge of it too. So, but yeah, great role. Not my number four though. So
Mm.
even though I personally, and I thought she was great in the movie, I don't know if I'd nominate her because, and it's nothing wrong with her performance. It's nothing wrong with the writing. It's just, I think to see it be Oscar worthy, personally, I would have wanted something more. But number four, I have Elle Fanning for sentimental value.
Oh, really?
I think
Even
she could sneak in.
after missing the BAFTA long list, huh?
I just have a feeling she could sneak in.
Hmm.
So I think there's goodwill towards her performance. I mean, she was nominated, but she's coming off of a complete unknown. They've been campaigning for this movie very well, and she's just such a likable personality too. Like she and her sister Dakota, like, talk about a family of talent,
Yeah,
if you know what I
yeah.
mean. So,
Great sibling dynamic.
yes, and they just come off as like lovable, really engaging people. So I think she could sneak in. I thought she did a very good job. Actually, no, I thought she was great. It's just that to me, I think that there's some moments. I think my favorite scenes with her were her trying to understand her character.
Yeah.
Specifically, I think two of her best scenes. The one is when she finally tells Gustav she doesn't think she's right for the role. I think that was her best scene in the film. Um, and when she visits Nora and she asks, like, I think this is meant for you. I don't think I should be doing this role. And then Nora convinces her before, I won't spoil this part, but before things unfold later in the movie. Um, I'm trying to think, like, again, the movie is fresh in my mind. So I guess maybe it just didn't scream Oscar when I first saw it, but she did a great job. And this is another role too that's tough because, again, Joachim had mentioned with Gustav, they could have played him as more of like a jerk, more of a brute. And he's like, no, that would have been way like stereotypical and less interesting. Let's play him as just a guy, and he just has like flaws like any human being. With Elle Fanning playing Rachel Kemp, the movie star that he wants to cast in his film, they could have casted her as like kind of like a ditzy, like dumb
Yeah.
Hollywood
Yeah.
movie star. Like, oh my God, I love your movies. It's awesome. Like they could have played her up as like a Valley Girl type. Um, and she's not that at all. Like she's somebody who's like you get a sense that she knows that she's famous, but
Mm.
she gives off that impression that she's the type of movie star who not only cares about the work, but she wants her work to matter. She wants to believe that like I want to believe that I'm right for this role, and I don't think I am. And that's a challenge in and of itself too.
And I get the sense that that's how she is in real life as well. I mean, let's just say, I mean, she's come a long way since Daddy Daycare. So and
One of
here's
your
the thing.
favorites, yeah.
Exactly. And here's the thing, Ryan. I want you to be right because, like you were saying with Wunmi Musaku, where it was like, well, I don't know if I would nominate her, but she's great in the movie. I think that Elle Fanning should be nominated, but I'm not predicting her because
Interesting.
I mean, well, here's the thing, man. She missed a SAG, which I get it; it's an international, but she's an American movie star, and she missed the BAFTA long list.
Mm.
Like that is insane to me. Like she's not even, and of course BAFTA has a great correlation in regards to especially the winners at the Oscars. And I just think to myself, I'm like, really, I don't understand like why this is happening. And like you said, like talking stats here. I mean, Wunmi Masaku is only Miss Golden Globe, and she just keeps gaining traction for, like, Critics' Choice, SAG. She's getting nominated almost everywhere. Where I feel like Elle Fanning has kind of taken a bit of a dip, and I'm like, what does this girl have to do to get nominated? Come on. I mean, she was in another Best Picture contender last year. She was, I think, the more standout supporting performance than the one that was nominated. And so I'm just like,
I
come
agree
on.
with that. Yeah, even though
Yeah.
I like Monica Barbaro was great in the movie, I mean, Elle Fanning left a bigger impression on me as far as a real emotional connection to the
Yes,
character.
she's like the
So
emotional counterpoint to Dylan in that film, and so I really don't understand what this girl has to do to get a nominations because I just don't think it's happening this time. And I would love to wake up Oscar nominations morning, hear Elle Fanning's name get called, and I will cheer because this is one of the five best supporting actress performances I think of the year. But dude, like I just keep thinking of like all the actors' tricks she gets to pull out her bag, like when she's like rehearsing that one scene it's like that is so showy. Like that's like what you love to see from actors. At least I do, and I think it's very very impressive what she does, and the fact that it is such a carefully curated role and performance, considering the character that she is playing is very much like that. Yeah, I don't get it, but I'm not predicting her right now, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to.
that's fair. Yeah.
So I guess, well, this is going to get even more interesting because who like well actually did you say yeah no you said Inga and then so who's number five?
So Wumi Masako was my number five.
Oh,
That's
okay, so
why.
so
So
you do
I
think
still
she's
have her in
okay.
the I still have her in the rotation. She's just not at number four. So yeah.
Gotcha. Well, hmm this is interesting. So at number five for me, and I could be wrong about this, it could be someone else. But right now I have Odessa Zion from Marty Supreme. Because, I mean, she's coming
You
on real
know,
strong.
you know, now you're making me want to change my list
Uh
because
oh.
I'll stick to it now
Yeah,
just
yeah.
for the sake of the video, but ah, damn it, that's probably is a more accurate
It's like
nomination.
it's kind of like Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown, where she doesn't get the attention early on, but she gets the SAG nomination, and she got longlisted at the BAFTAs. Granted, we won't find out who gets nominated for the BAFTAs until after the Oscars. But I just feel like there's a lot of momentum going towards Marty Supreme. It has been missing a beat. Timothy Chalamet won the Golden Globe. I just think that this is the
He just
supporting
wants to be one of the
performance.
greats. I come here with
Yeah,
gratitude.
yeah, exactly, man. But I feel like she really left such an impression in this movie. It's so explosive, and it's kind of similar to what you said about Wumi Musaku. Like, I wouldn't necessarily like nominate her, but I'm like, I get it. She's great. She's great in this movie, and but here's a weird thing, like. Is Gwyneth Paltrow going to pull like a Judy Belfast or Judy Belfast, Judy Dench in Belfast, where
Yeah.
Catriona Balfe, was perceived to be? I still hurts that she wasn't nominated for that movie. I don't get that at all. I think she probably should have won. Well, no, 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 not should have won, but she should have been nominated. And well, we'll get into the other supporting performances. But yeah, I just do think that this might just happen. And I think she's off to a very fruitious career. Especially, this last year was amazing for her, and she seems very likable, and yeah, she's
Yeah.
going to be around for a while, I think, and this is going to cement her success.
Absolutely. Again, it's I keep using the word tricky, so I don't want to repeat myself, but it's a tightrope because this is a performance too, without giving away Marty Supreme. We've talked about how absolutely insane that movie is. And her character is someone who starts off as someone that you're like, oh, she seems really nice, and then you find out she's just as bad, you know what, as Marty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's like, wow, like they kind of are perfect for each other because they're both out of their minds. And she really fine-tunes that beautifully in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely has some of the most like not just emotionally painstaking, but just some of the most engaging scenes in the film. Just some of the most entertaining moments like come from her like yelling at Marty or wanting to help him out, or the
Hmm.
wacky hijinks they get into with the
Yeah.
dog subplot. I don't want to ruin that for people. Um, and dude, also, I'm especially, she does come off likable. I know she's had some success with that show, the Rachel Sennett show, I
Oh
Love
yeah, I love
LA.
LA. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say though, this is a movie we've both seen. I loved it. I know you really liked it. I am so happy that the lead from the Hellraiser remake is now an
Yeah,
Oscar
yeah.
contender, which, dude, I that movie was such a surprise. I loved that film, and I know you were impressed by it when you finally got around
Hmm.
to it. Um, and even though I was like, she's really talented, I don't know where she's going to go from here, but she did a great job.
And
To
then
see her
whoop.
getting this attention now, it's great. So,
Yeah, and I definitely, yeah, I definitely would love to keep seeing her in movies for the next few years. She's in that upcoming crop of actors, man, and I really do think that she could very well get nominated for this. But let's talk about some of the alternatives, because I don't this category is chaotic, because look, Ariana Grande has been nominated every step of the way. Where is she on this list? Well, here's the thing. I feel like uh, maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but just in generalization, I don't think anybody really cares about Wicked for Good anymore. And I think it would be a very deserving nomination as well, maybe even more so than some of the ones on this list. I think she was even better than the performance she, was nominated for last year. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, this movie is just kind of falling off a cliff. It's going to get a few technical nominations, maybe 3 or 4 I don't know. And she could get nominated because she hasn't missed anywhere. Like, literally has not missed a beat. But I do get the sense that with these Hollywood sequels, especially for a character she was already nominated for, I'd have her at 6. I think she is very, like, she could get in and it'd be like, oh, well, okay. But that would be the first time that an actor has ever been nominated for the same role in back to back years. So,
true, because even Pacino as Michael Corleone, like that was 2 years
yeah, and
apart,
Bing
right?
Crosby, Father O'Malley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Is
right.
both about, I think, the same time span. So, or maybe there was a, no, there might have been a year apart. But anyway, besides, well, actually, no. Now I have to look this up, but we'll keep talking about this. Yeah, it does seem like the odds are kind of stacked against her, even though the stats would say that there is, everything supports that she would get this nomination, but I just don't think the passion is there like there is for Marty Supreme. People love Marty Supreme. Not many people love Wicked for Good. I think I can go out on a limb and say that, even if you do like the film. And I enjoyed it, but yeah, so it's a really tough call, man. Because I could also see Gwyneth. Could you see Gwyneth Paltrow getting in? Because that was my favorite supporting performance in Marty Supreme. I just think that character left such a big impression on me. It's much subtler work than Zion in that film, but I think she really is just as effective.
Yeah, no, I mean, like it was interesting because I know like she's got her business ventures and she's doing stuff outside of acting, but I mean, just as a fan, it was cool to see her in like an original movie again. And this is no shade to Marvel either, because I like, we grew up on like the Avengers stuff, but it was nice to see her play a role that wasn't Pepper Potts for once in a while.
Yeah,
I
she
was
hasn't been on the screen in like 6 years or something.
I think she said it might have been longer, but
Wow.
yeah, so because she wasn't in No Way Home, right?
But she was in Endgame,
She was in Endgame. So was
so
that the
that might
last
have been
thing?
since Endgame. Yeah.
Wow, okay. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, I thought she did a great job too. I mean, obviously with Marty Supreme, I mean, we don't even have to say who the standout is. It's Timmy, but like,
It's the Timmy Tim
perf-
show.
it is. It's Marty's world, and we're living in it.
And
Um,
Josh Safdie's.
Josh Safdie's world. That's right. And then, oh man, I mean, not gonna get nominated, but of course, shout out to Tyler, the creator, for doing such a great
Yes.
job in that too. Um, I'm trying to think of other people. I actually, to go back to supporting actor for a second, I did have someone that I wanted to throw in. I know you're going to shoot this theory down. It's just like maybe they throw in a surprise. I don't know. How impossible is it for Adam Sandler to get nominated for Jay Kelly?
Jake Kelly's dead. That's what I think. As much I think he should be nominated.
Yeah.
Mind you, I would nominate Sandler in the 5. I don't. Yet again, what does he have to do to get nominated? Stop making shitty movies? I don't know. I really. He's such a tremendous talent, and I don't know. Jay Kelly's just kind of been
Yeah.
buried, man. He's
Should have been
probably
nominated for
six.
the other Safdie movie for Uncut Gems,
Yeah.
but you know,
Well, I think he's probably six in that category. But
yeah.
regardless, I do want to say when it comes to supporting actress, I don't, there aren't many other contenders. But hear me out. Hear me out. Now, I know you haven't seen this movie, right? But I feel like this, if the Academy really loves this movie, and it's, I get a sense that they do like it more than it was just an accident. Um, Tanya Maria in The Secret Agent, she
Ooh,
really
which I
leaves an
haven't seen yet.
impression.
Yeah.
Yes. So when you see it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. But and I hear she's kind of a mini sensation in Brazil now after her casting in this movie. You know, she's kind of like this matriarchal figure who kind of, you know, helps bring in all these people in this neighborhood. I want to be very vague about it. I think she could pull a Marina de Tavira for Roma, where she just
Mm.
like, we aren't expecting her. If the Academy really like, I would say this would happen if like Kleber gets into director, it gets into picture, screenplay, actor, which I think it's getting into picture and actor and maybe screenplay at this point in time. But I don't know. Like, I feel like she's probably nine for me. I'll be very clear, but I do think that there could be a scenario. It's a long shot, but I think she could be a huge surprise that we aren't expecting Oscar nominations, because there's always going to be one of those, right? I mean, maybe not always, but there usually is like one. Like, where the hell did that come from? You know, like Andrea
Yeah,
Riseborough and To Leslie. Like,
that's
no one
right.
was expecting that. So I really do think she could, you know, come in and swoop in and steal that fifth place slot from, let's say, like Odessa Zion or something.
Mm.
Um, and she really is. She is very, very effective, very likable, very funny. It's a great supporting performance, and I don't know.
Because
I could just see it
yeah,
happening.
because we can't forget that the sometimes the Academy does like to throw a monkey in the wrench. Because sometimes it's like not even just with the acting categories, but I remember like 2018, the year that Phantom Thread got him for director and best picture. It was like,
Leslie
wait,
Manville.
what? So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then, yeah, Leslie Van got nominated. I don't think she got nominated anywhere, right? Maybe she got nominated
I
at
don't
BAFTA.
remember. Maybe
I'm gonna have to
BAFTA.
look that
Yeah.
up too. But yeah, man. I mean, it's so. Yet again, this category is just absolute chaos. And I really like. There's going to be a surprise here, no matter what. That's what I'm predicting. I don't know how vague that is. I don't know if I'm going to go five for five. I think that there's a good chance I could, but I'm also not completely sold on that.
Mm, yeah.
Actually, wait a minute. Oh, so Bing Crosby is the only actor to get nominated in back-to-back years for the same role. So it has
So it's
happened
Father
one time.
O'Malley.
Yeah, it has happened one time, but that was like 80 years ago. So
Yeah.
I don't you know, it would be interesting to see a repeat like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, man, I'm really excited to see how this pans out, honestly, because this is really, I think this is a very, there's a lot of things that are predicted, of course, with Best Actress, obviously. But this is what really makes award season fun, is us not knowing exactly what all the acting races are going to look like, and I think that really is very much the case with these two categories in particular.
Oh, absolutely. It's a part of the fun of just art in general, but specifically with the award season. It's just like, oh, but the sense of discovery. It's like, oh, what are people talking about? What's hot right now? Or what's something that maybe sometimes, people talk about, oh, awards can be like a popularity contest, and they can be sometimes, but I think when you have like an award ceremony at its finest, it'll draw attention to something that maybe wouldn't have gotten as much attention had it not gotten that love. So,
Mm.
like a secret agent, or it was just an accident. So I'm naming the international films, but Marty Supreme, even though it's got the A24 logo and everything, that movie is stylistically designed to be that way. It's like almost designed to like throw people off and just how like gritty it is and how like kind of gross the movie is in some ways and
Hmm.
like just pure intensity. Um and yet that's like a favorite for a lot of people, not just in the industry, but I don't know a single person that has seen Marty Supreme that wasn't impressed by it in some
No,
capacity.
everybody I know has liked the movie, and
Yeah.
I haven't seen that about, and not even one battle after another, which is a whole other thing. But yeah, man. Also, I'll say Leslie Manville was nominated for the BAFTA, so it wasn't completely out of the blue. But
Wasn't
still,
totally off. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't totally off. But yeah, man, that's the thing. It's going to be, especially with Marty Supreme, like it's going to be hard to call this race, but that's how it is. And well, I guess that's our discussion for the supporting actors category. So hey, man, thanks for coming on here. This was such a lovely talk, hashing this out with you. And well, where can the good people find you if they're looking for you?
Well, most of my social media is Ryan at Ryan T. Maguire, but for YouTube, just catch me at Ryan Movie Guy. I do mostly a lot of shorts. I've been getting back to the videos game, just with like, I'll do little short films here and there, video art, but I do my reviews. I'll do out of theater reactions and stuff like that. So trying to do more like trailers and stuff like that for the hype of certain movies. But yeah, Ryan Movie Guy. So
Yeah, definitely check his channel out. I know that he's planning some stuff, and I hope to see that all come to fruition in the new year. And of course, as you guys know, we're going to do the live stream. You're going to be seeing this guy's mug back on the screen once again in a couple days' time, as well as my buddy Jack Upfer, Swerve Master 18. We're all coming back, and we're going to join Talkin TV himself, the movie nerd Dom Rizzi, as we go over all our general predictions. We're going between us and some others. It's going to be a very, very fun episode. I'm sure you guys have seen the ones in the years past. So I think it's going to be a great culmination of all these videos that we've done. But of course, if you're interested in seeing that and so much more, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Got a lot coming down the pipeline. I'm still trying to wrap my head around getting everything done, but rest assured, it's all coming to you in due time. And thank you for tuning in to this episode. I hope that you guys are happy with the Oscar nominations as well as our predictions. So let me know down in the comments below what you think as well. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.